the egg, and you just like, okay, we're calling it on this team fight. Let's call a taxi home, everybody. Okay, well, it sounds like to me you guys are kind of leaning towards Team Spirit again. Yeah?
I'd say so.
I think it's definitely closer. I like this draft from Na'Vi much more than the anti-mage lineup they came in with the first game, but I don't know, there's something about just leaving at the last, getting this last pick Beastmaster for Ramsey. I'm just a little concerned. I was underwhelmed, of course, by the performance from the two of them on that bottom lane last game, and I don't quite know if they're going to have the tools to do anything that much better. I think the Troll, strong laner, Spirit, with the way that they played last game, they're going to be able to deal with whatever Na'Vi throw at them, and whilst I don't think it'll be as one-sided as game one, I think Spirit will still take this match.
Yeah, I definitely feel like that duo, right? Shadow Demon Beastmaster, that's going to require a lot of coordination.
Yeah, I am not I'm not sold on this Na'Vi lineup, and I just once again think that they're picking real complex concepts to try and win games with for a team that can't have had enough practice to feel comfortable with it for this new season.
Okay.
Spirit.
Fair enough. All right. Both sides going Team Spirits, and we'll have to see if it is actually going to be 2-0 or if we're going to be seeing a Game 3 Na'Vi. Our hopes on the major. It all starts at the beginning of the season. Weirdly enough, every single series matters, and of course, every single caster matters as well. We've got Moxie, we've got Fog to take us through this story.
Oh, I'm really feeling the love. Thanks, Cap. You feeling that love all the way over there, Fogged?
I am. I love everyone. I miss everyone.
I know, we miss you too, buddy. Hopefully. Fingers crossed, everybody. Keep your fingers crossed for Fogged. But yeah, so game number 1 looking very much like a textbook kind of style play coming out from Team Spirit. We've got game number 2, though, and it doesn't look like they're going to be able to crush the lanes quite as hard as they were able to in game number 1.
No, but the bottom lane could still be, or sorry, the safe lane for the side of Spirit could still be amazing again. Like Miposhka and Yatoro had some excellent synergy, and I love the duo they got right now. We've got Oracle Troll versus probably Beastmaster Shadow Demon. It sounds like a really good lane for the Oracle and the Troll. It sounds really tough for the Na'Vi side. No. Shadow Demon, a hero that it's just weird. I don't know how I feel about this hero right now too, because he hasn't really gotten enough love. I feel he got some slight changes, but nothing too dramatic.
What would you have preferred to see, perhaps laning with this Beastmaster?
I mean, just like a more aggressive hero. I don't know. Shadow Demon just feels like this weird 4 because it's a 4 position without a disable. You play more reliantly about like saving and play maybe with like soul catch and stuff to burst heroes, but it just, I don't know. Hero just feels a little lackluster as a 4. Iceberg. They might actually just get him here.
They get the root into place, followed up with that Aether Remnant, dragging him right back in again, and they try to use these brambles to their advantage. And Iceberg, he's very good at navigating the maze, but it's still going to be Toronto-Tokyo. Gets the first blood, and that feels very good. Taking down the enemy mid laner and getting a little something for yourself, too.
Yeah, now he just buys a stick immediately. So the lane, last time we saw the Storm do very well versus that Void Spirit, we could see a difference just because of being able to start with a little bit more mana, a little bit more things to play around with it, just off of the bat. They're getting that kill. Seeing themselves they're trying to set up for 3 or 4 bounties. They should actually get themselves to 3 at the least. And maybe, oh my god, always want to fly.
Yeah, he is not looking great here because they've got plenty of lockdown. Is forced to take the Icarus dive early. That is not what you want to grab as a Phoenix player.
No, that is quite brutal for sure. That's going to hurt V-Tune's lane quite a bit. He's not going to be able to apply nearly as much pressure to Collapse, and Collapse should get away with the lockdown here. So, all right, again, Team Spirit setting themselves up for pretty good success. Start of this game. All 3 lanes should have pretty solid stuff going on here. Iceberg should still win that mid matchup, but that stick, little things do make a difference.
They do indeed. Now, as a Phoenix player, I have to ask you, because you're obviously an expert here. Is it better to have just died there than to have picked up the Icarus dive?
Oh god, it wasn't first blood, so maybe honestly, but you know what? Oh, he took it. It's tough to really just say straight up there that it's going to hurt the laning phase. Morphling's gotten a little bit like buffed and nerfed, right? The attribute shift is actually a lot better now at the start. So he should be able to just farm down here fine. It's not like the Phoenix has to be there to zone these heroes out that much.
But it does feel very difficult for V2 because already the Phoenix sitting so low is forced to use all of that regen. And speaking of needing regen in that middle lane, Iceberg not looking too healthy here either. It's very close to the bottle, luckily, but Tokyo definitely feeling like, I always want to fly.
He actually got him. Oh my god.
There's a courier kill as well in the top lane. Ramsey's courier will go down to Miposhka.
Oh god.
Yeah.
Already a bit of a spiral out of control, at least in the small moments. As we see bottom, yeah, V-Tune, if the lane positioning starts to get, if it starts pushing too far forward, this is going to be really difficult for that Morph to get the farm. This is where Atrophy Aura really starts to just be excellent. And V-Tune is actually still adaptive strike at level 2. Gets caught in Bramble.
Looking a little suspect here. They had just a little bit more damage. They would have gotten themselves a kill.
So close. Mira was actually just shy of the banner to have Shadow Realm. Otherwise, that was going to be a kill. Yeah, that was... Oof. And they're just going to continue to the spam onto him, too. They're very low on regen down bottom as well on both of these heroes. This great lane for Team Spirit again, and they're going to be able to slow down V-Tune.
This definitely is not the way that Na'Vi wanted to start their game off.
Definitely not. But, you know, things like that happen. You know, you're forced to skill Icarus dive to survive. Like, you get killed anyway.
Yeah.
You're going to have to accept the fact that it might be a little bit of a difficult one, but V-Tune getting these last hits.
But hey, free TP at the very least, right?
Yeah.
Gotta look on the bright side of things.
TPs are real valuable now. I definitely have noticed a lot of times when players have caught in positions where they're just like, oh my god, I didn't buy a TP leaving. You just forget sometimes now.
Well, then they're so expensive now for the supports.
Yeah.
It is, you know, we're not seeing those rotations quite as often just because of the fact that, you know, TPs are so costly.
You know what? Good. Remember the days of 135 with TPs, now everyone can suffer as well. That's top. A nice block actually from Roger. The Shadow Poisons almost picking out.
Yeah, it's gotta be careful because the fifth one on him, yeah. Nicely done by Roger. Lord knows they need one of their lanes to be going a little bit better.
And it's not an easy lane up top, right? The Troll versus Beastmaster's always been a pretty good matchup for the Troll. Roger just playing it clutch. This is where the Shadow Demon's a little weird, but he can do some cool plays like that if you see the opportunity. It's gonna get harder though. Fate's Edict maybe gets killed even at level 3. On Miposhka, 3 or 4, he'll have it guaranteed, and then you can't go for those nearly as often.
And the amount of nuke damage that an Oracle can output if he decides to go for, you know, the point of Purifying Flames at level 3 is intense. It's a very scary lane.
Especially with Troll. But Troll, it's just like one of the best pairings with Oracle. You just have so much chase, so much damage, so many different ways to catch.
Dire's middle tower is
How much you gonna get?
Might be able to make...
He's getting a little sick of Roger.
Yeah, I can definitely understand that. But he is going to throw out a couple more stacks here. Get a nice netting off, and they'll be able to go use the banishment there over onto Yatoro, so... Iceberg
disruption
walking
could
all
get
the
a
way
little
home.
annoying this game for sure, especially versus Troll. Like when he does pop the ulti later on, you know, you do have some nice ways to kite him out. They will have problems with catch and just Troll overall though. They have a Beastmaster roar and a Vortex. That's pretty much their 2 actual stuns in the game versus some pretty elusive heroes on this side.
Oh, again, always want to fly, taking a decent amount of damage, but still has the Icarus dive available. I think the thing I'm concerned about here is, I mean, on both sides, right? Because Miposhka, he is the person that you want to try to grab early on, especially during team fights. You don't want him to be able to save. So you have a Storm Spirit for that. But on the flip side of things, you've got this Void Spirit who's going to be hunting after the Shadow Demon, no doubt. Ooh, I think if they have the vision, this is a kill, maybe? No. Nope, don't quite have that vision. Might have been very,
yeah, and also,
very close.
For the Storm, it's going to be tough too. Like he wants to get in the backlines, right? But you know that it's very likely that this Underlord, he's going to build the standard items, right? These healing items that Storm really doesn't like playing versus. Even a little jolt of heal in your backline heroes, it trips him up. And he's playing versus lots of roots. Like he's got pits, he's got brambles. There's going to be a lot of things tripping up that Iceberg Storm.
Ooh, the jump over onto V2. He's going to be able to waveform forward. Goes right into the brambles, but he's going to survive here.
Underlord pick is working really well in the lane. I love this percent damage and just that little percent reduction damage for the Morphling too. It's nice.
Definitely helps. 6-minute rune's coming up. Roger throws out the disruption. He denies the rune. So it'll be a sad Toronto Tokyo, but Roger's gonna be feeling pretty happy with himself. Take some of that anger out over an Iceberg here in the mid lane.
Immediately glyphs the wave too, so with that catapult he's trying to apply good pressure, get some decent damage. Even he's gonna tank the tower. Okay, he's gonna tank with his bottle, wait for the next wave, and he's gonna keep hitting this tower mid. This is a nice move by Toronto.
down for Little Vision. Goes for a bit of a dive here over onto Iceberg because he knows he's got the catapult. Tower, though. He'll get a shot or two off.
Yeah, he's very safe to do this. 19 wand charges, raindrop. He knows he can push his limits. Gets like half a tower. Not bad.
Yeah. Not necessarily the hero you think taking, half a tower right off the bat here, but some smart creep manipulation makes it happen.
Yeah, and he knows he doesn't have to like help the side lanes, right? Because how well they're all going. The Troll's doing excellent top, Underlord's doing great bottom, so he can just pay attention to his lane rather than making the rotations just yet. Now he's got full bottom. Maybe he can TP if he sees an opportunity.
I think Mira's dead here. Oh no! Last second gets into the fountain there with the TP. Very close. Couple of stacks of Shadow Poison over on Teatro. Gonna be a 4. Oh, look how low he ticks there.
Got that Oracle behind us, so he'll be able to get healed up a decent chunk. He's also got Ring of Health already. Be able to stay in pretty decently, but that gives space to Ramses. Almost actually has his Dominator finish. Pretty decent timing for him. He's level 6 now, so this top lane, it's done. Pretty damn good. A lot better. Infinitely better than
Yes. The last game was an absolute disaster for Ramses and Roger, so it's nice to see them finally get a laning phase. Now, is that the second one that he's done?
Radiant's middle tower
it's just
is
being
under
mean
attack.
because they're not killing Beastmaster top, so Roger's feeling some freedom to move around to set up for those. Really good stuff. Much better. Yeah, good stuff for Roger. Doesn't want to have 10 deaths again this game.
It's more fun to have an evenly balanced game than a stop for sure.
Yeah.
Be interested to see when we're going to start seeing rotations being made coming out. In fact, Toronto Tokyo is in this top area here. Is right underneath the ward, though. It's interesting that Ramses is continuing to just play so far up, considering that he does have the vision. Step forward here. Drag back with the taunt. They use the roar. Nothing comes of it. Roger throwing out the Shadow Poison. That's about all he can do. They do force out the TP now from Phoenix, which I'm not sure if this is the play. I'm surprised
That was definitely weird.
Yeah, right? You have vision. You know that they're coming, and he's still stuck around that long. And, yes, VTune should be fine here, but this Underlord is going to have the time of his life in this bottom lane now. And he doesn't have to worry about a Phoenix.
Yeah, they pulled both supports. I guess, I don't know who he brought. There must be some type of communication that was going on between them, but like Storm, he's jungling. He doesn't really want to TP right now or go anything like that. Morphling definitely never TPs up top, so the two supports, it's up to them, and yeah, they just... Shadow Demon, if he's there instantly, he can maybe get the disrupt and save, but Phoenix doesn't help too much.
No.
Not a hero that TPs and
they're still up here. They've got the vision. They spot Ramses. They know he doesn't have the war. It's a good save here from Roger for a little bit longer, but it's still going to end up with the dead Ramses, I have a feeling. Yes, it's another kill here for Toronto Tokyo.
That's why they call me the Hidden One.
2 successful rotations, even under vision.
They've had vision every time. It's strange that I don't know.
Yeah, not sure. I don't know. Navi's definitely being a bit passive now. There's little slight mistakes, and now Iceberg, he's continuing to jungle. Now he's looking to get involved bottom. Nice.
And that's a pickup on collapse. So realizing that everyone's been hanging top, Iceberg makes the intelligent play to go bottom and try to get something out of that.
Yep, looks like he's farming a little bit of this stack here. He's actually going to leave the rest of it for VTune to finish off, and he'll have a good timing on that Orchid still. Him just jungling has worked out really well. Beastmaster has been now significantly shut down. As I was mentioning, he almost had the Dominator earlier. He still almost has the Dominator now because of those 2 deaths, so that hurts quite a lot for Ramses.
Get the water boy service here from Maposhka as they'll fill up the bottle there for Toronto Tokyo. I love the way that they're playing around the map, though, on the side of Team Spirit. I like the way they're being very, very aggressive.
Yeah, very aggressive, and even when they do have downtime, look at this. A double stack from Mira, setting up his troll for success later on when he has Battle Fury. A stack from the Oracle too, so they're not wasting any time. They're always making some type of pressure move or some type of play. Navi right now, they're kind of just chilling. Roger as well as always want to fly. Now have hit 6, so maybe they want to go try to set up some type of play. And I believe that is the Dominator now.
Is there anything more beautiful than efficient Dota 2 playing? You gotta love it.
When no one's wasting time, because there's always something better that you can do in Dota, right? So Yeah, it's just miraculous when you get to see people not wasting even a heartbeat. As we see the smoke in mid, maybe playing around the 12-minute rune, it looks like this time around. And Na'Vi looking to try to pressure top, but let's see who gets hit.
I'm waiting for Roger to show up and do his normal shenanigans and then just be completely surprised. But Iceberg, the jump forward though from Tokyo. It's gonna get dragged back. Nope. Are they gonna be able to keep him alive just a little bit longer? Yes, he's gonna be just fine. The Sunray coming in, it saves them for just a little bit, but they have the nuke. The roar's gonna come out as well here, as they're gonna have to go in for the egg. Mira will fall. But at the end of the day, that's an egg, and they've lost their mid laner here. Only for a support.
Egg and a roar. They actually had to use both.
Yeah.
I think always want to fly, maybe just panicking a little bit there, but a very precise hit from Spirit and very appropriate one as they make space for the troll. V-Tune's still farming, but Iceberg does finally get taken out, and that's right before he had Orchid finish. That's a very precise kill.
They look like professional hitmen there. It is very nice.
Another kill. I mean, Spirit, like, not missing a beat. Every single one of these plays working out really well. We still do have V2 and having a very good game. He's been enabled quite nicely, and he's actually able to apply some pressure on towers now.
Radiant's
here,
bottom tower is under attack.
That was a good one, and now they're able to actually hit the bottom tower too, and that should pretty much finish up the battle fury for Yatoro. So he has a lot of farm, and he'll have a lot of stacks to work on right afterwards to enable himself even more.
You know, when you work hard and you get your work done, you take down the towers, you know, sometimes you get these nice treats, like a nice stack from your supports, you know?
Dire's top tower.
Yeah,
gotta work hard, guys.
Too. Scanning behind the tower, continues to get the push going.
Radiant's bottom
Right now,
Look at this.
trying to pressure a little more though because of that cooldown, as we said. You know, the roar and that egg being down,
Radiant's
really trying
middle
to get
tower
these two
is under
towers.
attack.
Look at the way they're playing too, like they're trying to stick over in the tree line here. They are gonna get nuked down by the Sunray. Always want to fly, so they'll clear it up for now, but I have a feeling they will be returning soon as Ramses brings his entire zoo over into the mid lane and wants to do a bit of B-push. I will say that V-Tune has, as before, has been doing a stand-up job and just making sure that he finds farm around the map, even though the rest of his team is struggling a bit to make that space for him.
He always does seem to, no matter what the game state is. Even last game, right, in the AM, he's 2-1. It feels bad, but he did his job. He did do everything he could do that game.
Kept up and farmed, but it's just the rest of his team fell too far behind that game.
Yeah, it really did. It felt like an impossible AM game once all things started to pick up the pace. This time does not really feel that much of an impossible Morphling game. Still going to be quite a task for him, but look at this, farming these ancients nicely, so he'll be able to match Toro, who has Battle Fury. He'll now farm his ancients.
Radiant's middle tower is falling.
Mid tower, that big one here.
Dire's top tower is under
Now they're
attack.
taking a lot of the available real estate here on the map over here on the side of Team Spirit. And with that Battle Fury done, we should be seeing Yatoro really start to escalate with this farm.
Yeah, and they're getting farm on everybody. That's the important thing that, you know, we see. I even see Mira, he's taking a good amount of farm on himself because he wants to get a vessel at a decent timing versus the Phoenix, versus the Morphling, of course. Very beneficial if he's able to get that farm. So everyone, they're still just kind of chilling with this game state. Not really looking for any big fight. If it comes to them, they'll take it, but not fully hunting for it just yet.
I like the vision that they placed up over here on the side of Team Spirit into the bottom part of the woods here on Radiant's side. Be able to keep nice tabs, might be able to get some sort of a pick off as well, because, you know, someone's going to be jumping in and defending that tower.
Yeah, it looks like they doubled it, right? Like,
Yeah.
you sometimes only see like the one ward. The fact that they put two, it's really nice.
Gives you a lot of information.
Yeah, exactly. You get information from both avenues, so you're always covered. I see Collapse going for this pipe. I saw he had Atos queued up. I'm actually glad he switched it up. I look at Na'Vi and it's like everything is just magic damage, and it's not that much actual control. So he'll be able to get the pipe off. It's gonna do significant damage. It's Na'Vi draft.
He's a big tanky lad too, that Underlord. Be able to do a lot of frontlining here.
Yeah, I wanted to do pipe like Solar Crest. They have to get a Solar Crest buyer on their team. It's the best item in the patch, it feels like, because Ramsey's farming very aggressively.
Yeah, he is dead here.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
They're trying to get his helmed up creep too. The tomato. It's like it might be able to survive, but
Let's go space. As they're attempting for a Roshan with that, with the DD Morphling. They should be able to get this one for free. It's dying very quick because of that DD.
yeah, I'm not sure if they have any idea that they're in the pit right now, actually. and no one on the side of Team Spirit is in position. So this is exactly what Na'Vi wants to do here.
Fallen to the ring.
Ramses will tell you it was on purpose that he died. You know, he drew their attention so that they can secure.
It's about confidence too, right? It's about, you know, confidently saying, yeah, I meant to do that, and just going right back in again.
More stacks, stack gaming, both sides. We see Radiant Na'Vi, Roger stacking up. Actually, I think the triple stack. Oh, he missed the triple. I got the double though, and we have 17-minute mark, so new neutral items as well. Spirit's still trying to play around their wards. Got one new neutral.
Nice.
Ooh, a nice one. The V-tune, the shawl.
Hard at work on that Scotty as well.
Yeah, not sure what shawl. I don't know.
Dire's top
Is
tower
Fly?
he dead? Always want to fly. It does have the cursed crown. I'm not sure if they're going to leap after him here, though. So it looks like he's going to be just fine.
Ball jump.
Dire's middle tower.
I'm a little surprised that he's trying to make this play on a tanky Underlord with the pipe. Leap
Trying to
forward
catch
here,
in
drawn to
advantage.
Tokyo. Will be able to find himself at least one. Oh, nice play there by Ramses, throwing that creep over to tank it. Yatro needs to be careful here. They do get a nice spear off. We'll push back the Morphling, and they get the heal over onto Yatro. Again, another root's going to get thrown back. Roar's going to get used as well. The rest of the team to leap forward here. Yatro, he has his ultimate, though. He's going to go right back in again. The Aegis does go down. Iceberg will fall. Notcher next to fall as well. Yatro just chasing after everyone that he possibly can, but over back on the side. V-Tune does manage to finally get the hit over onto Yatro. Nice pit of malice, though, coming out again from Collapse, holding them into place. They've got the Cursed Crown here over onto V-Tune. The drawback over onto Ramses. It should be the next victim on the side of Team Spirit. They still are chasing after V-Tune, but he navigates the brambles very nicely, so he is going to be able to walk away from this. They end up losing the Aegis.
Dire are
They end up losing the Troll as well.
Great positioning from Spirit in the fight. I love watching the way that the supports played there. They saw the way they identified the fight too, right? Storm, low on mana, they just full out aggression to try to catch him. Nice play from V-Tune, switching between the Underlord a lot there. We're seeing them extra pits, extra firestorms coming out in the lines there. But yeah, Spirit, these two supports just sat in the back and got everything off. Not a single spell really hit them.
Wish fulfilled.
Well, again, it did feel a little confusing to see the initiation coming out onto the Underlord. Not usually the target you want to go after. Nice play there
Definitely
again
not.
with the creep. But look at the
Yeah,
positioning of the
having no
supports.
mana. Yeah, look, they're just all the way on the right side. We're going to see it like the entirety of this here. Instant reset. The Demonic Purge, we see exactly what the panel was talking about, how effective it can be. They threw a salve, they threw an urn on him to try to save him. It all gets dispelled. But he does get the ult off, the most important thing for his team, because of all this positioning. Just playing on that right side together and holding the egg. Yeah, great synergy.
Looks like they might be killing something else here, too. They'll hold Phoenix into place with the root. And Cursed Crown. Maposhka will get the final hit. Ooh, Ramses now gets spotted here by Yatro. Uses the roar. Hangs around a little bit. I think he was thinking maybe some teammates might be coming around, but
So before.
Dire's
hightails
top
it out of
tower
there.
is under attack.
Now no roar for 80 seconds. It's a pretty long one. Continue to make these aggressive moves.
Yeah.
Spirit continuing to do a really good job this game. Still not a massive lead. V-Tune still having this good game, but they are really shutting down the Beastmaster a lot this time around too. And the Storm, his Orchid timing, it hasn't been... He hasn't really found much of anything with these 1-3-1.
Oh, the zip.
Something maybe.
Yeah, it's like, look at these Power Ranger TPs coming out. Toronto Tokyo is going to survive as they fall with a beautiful pit of mouse. Iceberg is forced to run away. They're going to try to root him into place, try to get that hands on them, but they're not going to be able to quite do it as V-Tune turns himself into the Void Spirit. And they're going to back off. They did force so many TPs after they jumped on Toronto Tokyo.
That was close. They used the Purge too, so he tried to like Eul's himself in the air to get rid of the Orchid. He drops down immediately, but is able to get away. Iceberg though, as soon as Tokyo goes down bottom, he's actually setting up a Remnant to scout. And he will be all right.
It's always fun to watch the Spirit Brothers duke it out.
Yeah, absolutely. As I was saying, like Iceberg, he hasn't really found that big Orchid timing. He got it early. He really did this game, and he's got like the Berry Trinket too to boot to like buff him up, but hasn't been able to find much of it. Hasn't been able to find those backline squishies at all. Team Spirit's they're playing really clean. They're playing very nicely together, not giving the opportunities for these pickoffs. And they are playing versus some good pickoff. You know, there's a Hawk, there's this Storm Spirit. There's a lot of different ways that they can just get sniped out, but playing together.
Yeah, it is nice to see the two supports usually rolling with at least +1 at any given time. In fact, we've got 4 over here as they intrude the jungle, or invade rather. Yatoro leading the charge now. Gonna clean up some of these creeps here. Easy peasy.
Not the easiest initiation without the Void Spirit. Toronto Tokyo, he's playing around the runes. It'll spawn bottom.
Dire's
It's a
top
nice one.
tower
It's an
is under
arcane.
attack.
That's a nice little treat. We do get the
Yeah, and
Atos
he's-
completed too now for the Underlord, so collapse is going to be even more difficult to get away from.
That's going to be nice. Now they actually do have a form of catch without the Void Spirit there in some situations. As Tokyo's getting close to his Ags too, and he also found himself a Nether Shawl, just like the Morphling did. So his impact is going to be really high in the fights. At least, as we said, B-Tune, he at least has his own, so he
Radiant's
counteracts a lot of that
bottom
magic
tower is under
damage,
attack.
and it really is like the best item in the game if it goes without
Radiant
more.
structures
There's no
are
downside.
fortified.
You know, minus the armor, who cares?
Look at the way they're playing down here too. They're just waiting and baiting.
Radiant's
Position
bottom tower
over and over
is
again
under
here from the
attack.
side of Team Spirit. BKB on Yatoro is still very safe now.
Dire's top tower is
Almost got
under
the
attack.
axe completed too. They just needed like 100 more gold over on Toronto Tokyo.
And they've got Vessel too, so I think it's fight time for Team Spirit. When that Ags does come out on
Dire's
the
top tower
Void Spirit,
is
I
under
think they
attack.
are pretty ready to battle. B-Tune's still quite large. He finishes up his Scotty too, so he has a good opportunity to be able to fight. And Iceberg has BKB, so both sides have kind of hit a pretty big item timing for themselves.
Is it a matter of who gets the jump on who first here?
It is pretty massive. We're going to be watching how well the supports are positioned on Spirit, because there's a lot of ways to get on top of them. Now, with the Storm with BKB and the Morphling being so fat, I think it's going to be a bit harder for Spirit to get that position.
I think it's also going to be very important, the positioning of that egg during the fight as well. If they can get a good egg off, I think in the V, it's going to be even nicer for them. But they seem like a lot of the times they jump onto the, you know, I talked about them jumping onto the Shadow Demon, but they jump onto the Phoenix a lot of the times, and he kind of gets caught out where he's not able to get these nice eggs off. If he does get the egg off, it's mostly trying to save himself or to put out a little bit more damage, not necessarily trying to make things, you know, happen with it.
Yeah. We'll see. It's really going to be up to, you know, it's the battle of the spirits, as I feel like we've said for a couple patches now. It's who gets the better jump in the backline. The double silence on Void Spirit with Arcane Rune, it could be something that just, you know, breaks the team fight. It could just be something that's too strong that they can't deal with if they don't actually find him at the start. So, yeah, there's a lot of different potentials. High ground is going to be a big thing that both teams are looking for right now for this fight.
Well, they've smoked up over on the side of Na'Vi, and they've placed themselves behind V-Tune. Doesn't seem like Team Spirit is quite taking that bait just yet.
They don't have anyone going. So as you said, the Atos was built on Collapse, so no Solar Crest. That's going to be a bit of a painful thing for that troll. Where they're on the other side, we do have a Solar Crest. It is done on the Beastmaster, so that's going to be a Morphling who's really buffed up. He has Inner Beast. He's got all these different elements, just make him stronger in the fights.
Has run out over on the side here.
Regen. Wants it. Another big rune. So Arcane Rune versus Regen Rune. Which one wins out?
I think the Arcane Rune, right? Unless you can purge it off.
I think so.
Because you can cancel out a Regen Rune very easily. Still, it's nice to get a little present in the river. Spirit feels like they're just dodging, maybe not necessarily dodging, but they're just moving around the map and predicting the way that Na'Vi wants to chase after them. Smoke comes out,
Definitely
though.
want to fight, though. With that Arcane Rune, they definitely want to look for this battle. And they catch something here. It looks like
It's Ramses. Yeah, he just happens to be the most forward person here, and he's going to get obliterated.
They just tip him immediately. Mirror the bully.
Oh, no, I saw some tips coming out the other day, too.
Everyone's having fun. They're always good. They're always in good jest.
Why don't we ever see wholesome? I mean, we see a couple wholesome tips, right? I think I've seen GH put out the wholesome tip every once in a while.
Well, I think, what was it? Not yesterday, the day before. We had the
Radiant
teams
are
like saying like,
scanning.
good luck, 1-1 now. Like they were like actively talking to each other about like the score of the game. It was fun.
Well, that's nice.
Clearly just like friends for a long time or something like that.
I like to see it. Unless you're in NA where they know each other for a long time and they still just razz on each other. The Fear was getting wound up here by Mirror, but the BKB comes out from Iceberg. He's going to zip forward. Already, though. Just throws himself into the Shadow Realm. They're not going to be able to get anything. And that is a BKB down, Fog. They can make something happen off of this now.
Radiant's
Panicked
top
a little
tower
bit. He
is
walked
under
into the
attack.
bramble and then he's like, oh my god, like if I get connected by a Fear, I'm just dead. So instantly BKB to bam, ready to roast Team Spirit. They're not hesitating at all when that BKB charge is wasted.
I want to see a Solar Crest, though, like you said. It's just such a good game. Like, again, not even just a good game, it's just such a good item period right now. Seems odd that we haven't seen it picked up at all. To be careful because they're looking to fight this. Roche, less than half health here. Bash over onto the troll. Flame Spirit's coming out as well. They've got the pipe. BKB out over here, over onto Yatoro. He wants to finish this off, but there it is. The don't for it. It's still not going to be enough. So the age is going over to Yatoro as he just keeps trying. Look at this fighting going through, but he does eventually get stunned up. And the Sunray is doing so much damage on his backline. They try to zip over to Maposhka. They're not going to be able to quite grab him in time. Now Maposhka forced to use his ultimate on himself. They turn around though, and they manage to go and just root this poor Morphling into place. Disarm though, coming out over here onto the troll, but they're still just chalking away over here onto Morphling. They control him so well that through. Perhaps just a little bit too late coming out of Ramses because now he's just getting hunted. Toronto, Tokyo, jumping over on Lager. Oh, right at the end of the Pit of Malice. Right on the edge. They take down Ramses.
So great fights coming up from Spirit. They force this like panic play from Na'Vi to egg and everything around the pit so they can maybe secure something. But Yatoro, I believe he got, who actually got the cheat, but he got the shard, he got the Aegis, he got what he came for. And I mean, V-Tune, the control that they get on him, this Atos heavily paying off. It's too much for him. He was strength morphed very early on, all the way up. He doesn't do any damage.
Radiant's middle
Took
tower is
so
under attack.
much to take him down. Again, you see that BKB coming out from Yatoro
Dire's
fairly
top
early.
tower is
He
under
wants to
attack.
ensure there's the hit. Snaps up that Aegis as fast as possible.
He almost died
Radiant's
right there,
middle tower
right there and
has
then.
fallen.
Like,
You
it
can
was
see him
actually quite close.
But he had the cheese.
Okay, he used it there. That's what I thought something happened there. He was full healed up. Nice, good positioning.
Iceberg forcing out that BKB is going to teleport out. Should be absolutely fine here. They don't have any way to cancel it out just yet. But double damage.
Time
Ren.
again. He keeps having to just like use his BKBs defensively and get out. He's not able to get like any kills. Honestly, Spirit is. They're taking these fights so well. These two supports every single time. They're getting so many rounds of spells off. Everybody's doing their job perfectly. Navi's falling apart of it. It's 13-4 with a
Radiant's
9k
top
lead.
tower is under attack. Radiant structures are fortified.
Definitely feels a bit tough here, but everybody's getting into the car because they want to go and make some moves here on the bottom lane. Ramses, though, buys a bit more time. The rest of the team is nearby, but I don't think they were expecting that Yatoro and Poshka would be here. So now V-Tune forced to just, well, no, he turns back around, gets the kill onto Maposhka.
This time he's able to get at least one of the pickoffs. He does get the Orchid off, but again, Ramsey's getting grabbed. And who'd they actually give? I think they gave the shard to the Willow.
Yes.
Okay, they did.
So
I
that's
actually
the-
thought there's a good chance that Yatoro takes himself because of the attack speed that you can use versus Egg on the Rampage. It's
That's
actually
true.
pretty nice, but maybe he just thinks that it's more beneficial to have on that Willow overall in the general.
It's more
Yeah.
lockdown, right? It's more lockdown. It's very, I don't think you really can step around the brambles because they're so close together after the Cursed Crown proc.
It's annoying.
It's pretty tight.
It's more roots, more control than doesn't have a BKB for it.
Yeah.
You know, there's so many little things like these pits and these roots and everything that he is dealing with, and he actually has to go for BKB now because of it.
Unstoppable!
Toronto, Tokyo,
There is nothing for you.
easy kill.
Yeah, that Phoenix just can't be alone on the map at this point. He's just going to get hunted no matter what.
Ooh, and he's actually, okay, he's gone for the Spell Amp talent too now, too. That is going to be so much damage coming out from him. He's also going to Sange and Kaya. That's going to be nice.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Clean up here on the top lane, finish off the
Radiant's
tier
top
1,
tower has
and the
fallen.
rest of Team Spirit rolling pretty closely together, aside
Dire's middle
from
tower is under attack.
this Void Spirit here.
Now they have a Lotus Orb
Radiant's
2 on
top
Collapse. He
tower
has
is
gone
under
for the
attack.
Solar, but
Middle
Lotus
tower
is one of the
has
best
fallen.
items in the game as well, and will be until it does get changed. Because it's so effective in every type of situation, either removing silences, reflecting spells, whatnot. So many different ways now to protect your Toro. And the Poshka, he's actually gotten himself a luxury item. He has a blink now, so he has a good way to be able to hide in the back line
Radiant's
even
top
more
tower is
than
under
him and Mira
attack.
have already done so successfully this game.
His position has already been so
Radiant's
excellent.
top tower
On the
is
bright
falling.
side, though, for the side of Navi, we do have the BKB completed now for Morphling, so it's going to be a lot harder for them to control him. My only concern is just, do they have the damage to take down
Do
the
they
other
have the
side?
damage?
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, that's how I feel too.
I'm glad I'm not the only one wondering this.
It's gonna be hard. Tokyo is gonna do so much in these fights. Look, it's Arcane Rune, Sage and Kaya, Spell Lamp too. I actually can't even do the math on how much he's gonna be doing in all this, but
Dire
it's a lot.
scanning.
It's like 400 damage per Resonant Pulse.
Got a completed Bloodthorn up and running too over on the Troll.
It actually is so effective this game because he's playing versus these double heroes that are so reliant on mobility, right? The
Yeah.
Morphling and the Storm. A lot of times maybe you'll see like the Basher's effective, but Silence is so good versus these two. Yeah, I like it.
It just does get reclaimed during this, but it feels like Team Spirit, they feel like they're very strong right now. They'll ring out. We'll be able to go. They'll hold the Phoenix into the place here. Nice disruption buys a little bit more time. Lotus is on here, but the BKB coming out now from Yatro. They just slice up always want to fly. He's not going to be able to get an egg off. B-Tune already just waveforms himself out. They don't want to fight in that particular area, but they do buy back on always want to fly.
He has no way to protect himself either. He's still so far from his Euls. He actually was close to it there, but these Resonant Pulses, these Silences, it's extremely effective.
BKB immediately turns himself into Collapse. There's that Lotus or BKB over onto Iceberg, but it doesn't seem to be really helping them out much at all because they already just killed Always Want to Fly. He bought back. Roger is next to fall as they're chasing after Ramses here. They need to just try to hold him into place. Forcing out the BKB. The root gonna come out though again. They have the Bloodthorn now as they're just trying to slice through V-Tune. It's gonna get rooted again. The slow that got the Lotus up and running. Roar's gonna come out from Ramses. He buys V-Tune a little bit more time. Toronto Tokyo though, he's hungry. He's going very far here as Iceberg zips out. Wants to try to punish them for this, but again, these roots coming out from Collapse, they're just too good. The draw back in again, they'll get the kill on Iceberg.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
It's over. They just have to start the entire duration of the fight
Radiant's
running
middle
away,
tower
and Toronto
has
Tokyo just jumps in and assassinates both supports. Reaction.
He is a professional hitman against the kill on Ramses, and now V-Tune is again forced to waveform around. Step forward from Toronto Tokyo. He wants this kill. They go, they throw out the whip. The disruption buys just a hair more time, but it doesn't matter. Down goes V-Tune. GG gets called, and Team Spirit are gonna 2-0 this series.
Radiant's middle
Very
tower.
clean fashion.
Dire
I'm very impressed with the way that they played around the map. Maybe it was a little bit on, Navi not looking the hottest at all. Ramsey's getting picked off a ton in this game again. 0 and 8 on the Beastmaster, but damn, some precise movements and precise hits. I'm loving it. Toronto Tokyo absolutely killing it this game on the Void Spirit.